Yo, we are back. Give y'all another great live. Reporting live. Y'all know how we bump. Got a lot to talk about, man. Yesterday was a big day between David Benavidez and David Morell, man. I got so much that I want to unfold when it comes to that fight. We got a lot to talk about. For one, I've never seen it before, man. It's like you gotta pay attention to body language in boxing sometimes, man. You gotta pay attention to body language. Do y'all see how David Morell is coming? Like, do y'all see? Am I the only one peeping this shit? Am I the only one that's peeping? Not only is David Morell not scared of David Benavidez, not only is he much bigger than David Benavidez, but he's playing the bully role. He's bullying the bully. I'm telling y'all, man. You know, when I first thought about this fight, I thought Benavidez for sure. But now I'm thinking about it, man. This is not going to be easy for Benavidez. I'm telling y'all. This fight is not. Man, it's hot in this bitch. Hell no. This is not going to be an easy fight for David Benavidez. There's no respect between these two guys. I'm expecting fireworks. I ain't going to lie to y'all. Like, is David Morell going to shock us, man? Like, is David Benavidez going to deal with adversity in this fight? Remember, y'all, what's the biggest expression in boxing? Styles make fights. And some would argue because Morell only has, 12 professional fights, that it wouldn't be his hardest fight to date for Benavidez. But then some would argue styles make fights. Caleb Plant and Bebubu Andrade are both boxers, and they don't pose as much of a threat to Benavidez as a David Morell. I happen to be one of those people. I love Bubu Andrade, and I think Caleb Plant's a hell of a fighter. But I have to give my honest opinion on certain things. And I just believe that stylistically, David Morell is going to give David Benavidez a lot more fits. Now, obviously, I could be wrong, but I tend to think I'm going to be right here, man. I expect to get some viewers coming in later on in the session. I just got off work not too long ago, man. So, we got to come on when we can. You know what I'm saying? Like, late nights sometimes be the best times to come on. But, yeah, man. So, I can tell based on looking at David Benavidez, like, shit went really bad at the media day. Obviously it started with Benavidez trying to shake Morell's hand, which I didn't really understand that too much because, damn, I didn't really understand that too much. Hold on, y'all. Interesting. I gotta go. Hold on, y'all. I gotta go put this in the motherfucking wash real quick. Shit, I didn't even peep that. I didn't even peep that. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Look at that. With that. Give me a reason to stay up a little longer. No bullshit. Right. shit, we get that motherfucker clean. You feel me? I ain't going for none of that. I seen some shit on the ground. I'm like, whoa, the fuck? It's crazy. Motherfuckers is definitely crazy. Make sure we pick up all this shit. Be some crazy shit I be seeing. Saying. All right, y'all, we back, man. So, like I was saying, David Benavidez clearly is worried about David Morell, man. It's obvious, y'all. Bigger, stronger, playing mind games with him. Wouldn't shake his hand. The man talking shit in Spanish. David Benavidez don't really understand Spanish. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a crazy, crazy fight, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I couldn't be more excited for this fight, man. This fight, honestly, has more hype around it than the Gervonta Davis-Lamont Roach fight. We have to be honest. It truly does, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all know what I'm saying here? You know what I'm saying? I wish I was wrong about the situation. I truly do. But I just don't believe that is the case. I don't believe that to be the case at all. And I believe in this situation, obviously I still have David Benavidez as the favorite. He's got the experience. You know, he's fought the tougher opposition. And I do think that means something. I just think that we have to keep in mind, I have seen David Benavidez get dropped before. I'm not used to seeing Benavidez be the smaller guy. He's going up against a guy. Let's get this technically straight here. When you talk about power, I think Morell and Benavidez are about equal. Even Morell might have the slight edge. Maybe. They're about equal. I think Morell has the better footwork. Morell might be just as good of a combination puncher. Man, this is going to be an equal. I'm telling y'all, man, this is one of them fights, man. It's one of them fights, man. They hyping it up good, too. You know what I'm saying? The lady who was like the host of the media day, she had to stop it early. And the reason she had to stop it early is because no one was listening. She was trying to calm down the situation, and it just wasn't getting calm, man. I'm telling y'all, man. It looked like there was about 3 or 4 different situations in media day where I thought David Morell and David Benavidez were actually going to throw them bitches and get the fight canceled. I mean, let's talk about how David Benavidez and his team brought up the fact that Morell and his team didn't want to test, and how the fight was almost canceled, and just a bunch of crazy stuff was thrown out there in media day that I didn't know. And man, it's getting real chippy. You know what I'm saying? You could tell with Boo Boo and Benavidez, it wasn't nothing personal for real. You could tell with Caleb Plant and Benavidez, it was definitely personal, but you could tell that there was mutual respect after the fight. I don't think there's going to be any respect here between David Morell and David Benavidez. I just don't see these guys shaking hands after the fight. There's just been too much turmoil going on between the two men beforehand, man. But as we are getting closer to the fight date, man, I'm not the type that I like to change my picks. But it's looking like, man, like I have no choice but to say that it's real likely that Morell could win the fight, man. Like he's big, he's strong. And I'm definitely worried for Benavidez. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to y'all. I'm definitely worried for David Benavidez. I want to see how he's gonna do against a bigger fighter. I do, man. I think people are using the whole experience train to give Benavidez the nod in this fight, man. And I'm gonna just be honest, like that's really the only nod I give him in this situation, man. Because I'm worried. I'm worried. I'll be the first to say on Minimum TV, I'm extremely worried for David Benavidez. I don't know, man. What happens? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens? I really thought somebody was gonna get arrested at media day, though, man. They was throwing belts at each other, man. There was about 2 or 3 separate times in the media day where they almost punched somebody else. But you could tell, man, like Morell is really getting under Benavidez' skin, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Like you could see it. Like Benavidez over there smiling, like getting out of character. And it's really, I'm gonna say this, man. It's really entertaining. They're really, really, really hyping up the fight beforehand. And I can honestly say, man, this is one of the most exciting fights of 2025. I'm way more excited about Morell and Benavidez than I am Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Let me start there. Way more excited for that fight. I think that fight is gonna be a fire fight. The Lamont Roach Gervonta fight, I'll be there, but it's nothing to be excited about. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Cool Boy on the undercard against Figueroa. Like, it's a hell of a show. It's a hell of a show. I'm not gonna lie. This is the one show where you're like, gotta give PBC their credit. You know what I'm saying? Gotta give PBC their credit because they putting a great show together, man. Putting a great show together. And if you didn't go watch the media day workout between Benavidez and Morell, I would really recommend go watching it. It's very entertaining. You're gonna see a bunch of belts thrown, a lot of commotion, and like I said, it's really worth watching. I would go take a look at it, man, if you haven't already. Very interesting. It was cut short because, like I said, both Benavidez and Morell looked like they were about to crash out in multiple scenarios in that media day, man. And I don't know, man. Come weigh-in time, man, it's gonna get real serious with them two, man. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna get real, real serious. If Benavidez wants to win this fight, he's gonna have to box in this fight, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like Benavidez usually overwhelms his opponents with his size and his power, and is able to just out strengthen his opponents. Right? I don't think he's gonna be able to do that in this fight. He's gonna have to box. If he wants to beat Morell, he's gonna have to box and find his openings and use his feet, because Morell is just as big as you, just as powerful as you. And if you fight that big man mentality type fight that you always fight against a guy like Morell, that could end up backfiring. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like I said, Dave Benavidez has been knocked down in his career. Go look at that. I forget who knocked him down, but a guy nowhere near the level of Morell. Just mark my words when I tell you that. So, although we see him as the monster and like he's unbeatable, I don't know if that's true, man. And like we're gonna find out, man. We're gonna find out come February 22nd. I can't wait for this fight, y'all. Definitely one of the bigger fights of 2025, man. I'm very excited because the winner of that fight, I think, is gonna be the mandatory for the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev, man. So it's big time boxing coming soon. I hope Benavidez wins, because I think if Benavidez wins, it'll be better. And I don't know if there's a rematch clause. That I have to look into that. But I'm pretty positive if Benavidez loses, there'd probably be a rematch clause. But I haven't looked into that. I have to look. I'm not positive about that. But yeah, man, we got Benavidez and Morell. They can't stand each other. It's pretty wicked between these two guys, man. Pretty wicked between these two men. Gotta be honest. So I was watching Teofimo Lopez on Top Rank the other weekend in Arizona, and he was talking about how he wants to fight Jaron Ennis, How he wants to fight Crawford and Gervonta Davis, man. What is with Teofimo Lopez calling out the same three guys, man? Now, I respect it because those are the three of the hottest names in boxing right now. And Teo has always dared to be great, man. I have to respect that. But, like, are those realistic fights right now? That's what we have to ask ourselves as boxing fans. Are those realistic fights at the moment? And if they are, then, man, so be it. Let's make these fights happen, man. I want to see Teofimo in all the best firefights against Jaron Ennis, against Crawford, against Gervonta. I want to see all that. But who does he fight next? That's something that we have to find out. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We just don't know who Teofimo is going to decide to fight next. But whoever he decides to fight next, I want to see him get back into action, man. We haven't seen Teofimo Lopez since last June against Steve Claggett. And let me be the first to say, he was landing at will against Steve Claggett. But who is Steve Claggett? Who is Steve Claggett? So when we really break it down in that way, man, I wasn't too impressed with Teofimo's last performance. Him and his dad agreed to bring in Eddie Reynoso. So he's got a new trainer in town. So let's see how Teofimo looks in his next fight, man. I can't wait to see Teofimo get back in there. But yeah, boxing's in good hands, man. Like I said, if y'all didn't go look at the media day between David Benavidez and Morell, go look at that media day. I'm telling y'all, that shit was action-packed. It was nothing but excitement. And I had to come on here and talk about it, man, because to me, that is the biggest fight in America right now. Most competitive fight in America right now. And it needs to be talked about, man, because not enough people are talking about it. I don't hear anybody talking about the fight. So I want to talk about it. And I'll be the first to come on here, man. Do y'all think that David Benavidez is in trouble against David Morell? Like, this is something we have to ask ourselves. I'm picking David Benavidez to win, but like I said, I think he's gonna have to dig deep. He's gonna have to find a new strategy in this fight, man. I don't think trying to be the big man against Morell is gonna work, and that is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna have to box in this fight. I want to see if David Benavidez could do that, man. A lot of people in my ear are saying that David Morell is the better boxer between him and David Benavidez. I don't know if that's to be true. I don't know if that's to be false. That is, to me, it's to be determined. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to find out, man. What's so funny is that both of these guys are Hispanic. David Benavidez don't speak much Spanish because every time Morell gets to speaking Spanish to him and talking crazy to him, David Benavidez always got to smile and talk back in English because he don't really speak a lot of Spanish. I think that shit is so funny when Morell gets the and David Morell, you know, just coming at him in Spanish, and Benavidez not hearing none of that shit. It's like, man, fuck, I'm gonna break your fucking face, I'm gonna break your jaw, and man, they just been going at it, man. Shit is really, really deep, man. Like I said, I'm very excited for this fight. I do think that both men will be able to take each other's best punches, though. I see the fight going the distance. My prediction for the fight is the distance. But like I said, I can see both men getting hurt in this fight, man. You got two punchers, two guys in their prime. This is going to be exactly what boxing needs. I'm telling y'all, man. Shout out to PBC for giving us David Morell versus David Benavidez. Shout out to PBC, man. I don't shout out PBC very often, but shout out to PBC for this fucking great fight that they're giving us, man. All right, y'all. I've been live for 20 minutes. I'm a little tired. I decided to come on here a little late to talk about the David Morell versus David Benavidez fight. I should have came on here a little bit earlier to talk about it because obviously y'all don't be up late. But I will be on here tomorrow morning to talk about the media day and more boxing news. All right, y'all. I'm going. Make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come on this video. I'm going. Peace.